It's time to kick back and chill with the Sword Strip and Stunner, Hexeblaumon, and the Ice Snow Gang, which has been making the rounds in the card game. Sword Strip is back on the menu, and its name is Ice Snow. Oh, it's just being abused in Imperial? Oh man. But that's not what the archetype's all about. I was looking forward to adding in the BT18 Kumamon cards as a second wave of support, but it wasn't it, Chief. Turns out, evoing for the cost of 4 on a non-tamer hurts a lot. So to my surprise, the Liberator's web novel showed off new Ice Snow cards with a new tamer too. But what does this new support do? Does the Sword Strip faster? Does it make things better? Does it fix the deck's key issues? Is Susan the new tamer single, and will she go out with me? These questions and more will be answered in today's chilly episode of Sauce or Loss. Okay, so there's no new egg, so onwards to our level 3, which is a blue-yellow Penguinmon. It digivolves from a blue or yellow level 2 for the cost of 1, or a Hyarimon for the cost of 0. It's got the Your Turn effect. When this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card with Ice Snow, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. With the Inheritable, when attacking, give one of your opponent's Digimon sec -1 until the end of their turn. This card is just a better version of BT18 Penguinmon with the ability to digivolve for free over an egg. Obviously, you're going to be running Hyarimon. What else are you planning to run? BT1 Upamon? The cost reduction up the line is great in case you didn't have any trainings or just wanted to go into Kumamon for regular cost. The Inherit is where it gets extra saucy. Just attack your opponent and give them sec -1. What's the catch? There isn't one? Oh, and it's not a once per turn? Oh, that's definitely good, Bandai. I love that. Love that for the game. I'm surprised Bandai didn't say something like when attacking, if your opponent has less sources than you, then give it sec -1. But no, there's no strings attached. You can just swing and give sec -1 as many times as you can suspend. So that's always fun. The card is also not locked to Ice Snow, so you can just throw it into any yellow or blue deck if you wanted to. Just give sec -1 there. So there are also some generic uses for this card outside of the archetype. That aside, this card is definitely a Penguinner. Oh, and it's sauce. Next up is our level 4 Frigimon, which is another blue and yellow card. It digivolves from a blue or yellow level 3 for the cost of 3, or a level 3 with the Ice Snow trait for the cost of 2. It's got Ice Clad, and it has the on blue and digivolving. Trash the 2 bottom Digivolution cards of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no Digimon Digivolution cards, gain a memory. With the Inheritable, when attacking, give one of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 until the end of their turn. Again, not a once per turn. Fun Frigimon fact for everyone. This is our second Frigimon in the entire game. The last one we got was in BT1, and it just had jamming. So yeah, I think this card just a little bit better. Having both Ice Clad and Sword Strip abilities make for great early aggression. And what's that? If it's off Penguinmon and my opponent doesn't have any Digivolution cards, I gain a memory, meaning this Evo is free? Oh wow, that's fun. That's pretty cool too. Kinda weird that the effect is both an on play and a when digivolving, but I guess that'll make sense later on the line. Now, realistically, I don't see the effect going off consistently, as it is a single target effect. If my opponent has 2 bodies out, it's just GG, no memory gain there. Also, in a pinch, you can just hard play this 4 in Sword Strip, which isn't the worst, because again, there are much worse things to do. The Inheritable is the exact same as Penguinmon, so now you can give your opponent security attack -2, or split it out and give 2 different bodies security attack -1 that way. And again, just unsuspend and do it again, and make your opponent's entire board unable to check your security, which can be kind of annoying to deal with. I am surprised if Frigimon can't just free play out a Susanoo tamer like most other Liberator decks, but we'll see later on why that's not a huge letdown. Frigimon is soft though. Next up is our level 5 Polar Bearmon that's all bundled up. Wait, why does a Polar Bear need a jacket? Because it's very cold! Polar Bearmon digivolves from a blue or yellow level 4 for the cost of 4, or a level 4 with Ice Snow for a cost of 3. It also has Ice Clad, and has the on blue and digivolving effect. Trash any 2 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon, then one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digivolution cards cannot suspend or activate when digivolving effects until the end of their turn. With the Inheritable, Your Turn, while your opponent has no Digimon Digivolution cards, this Digimon with the Ice Snow trait gains Piercing and Security Attack +1. Now this is an ice cold effect, if you're able to the full Sword Strip that is. Making so your opponent isn't able to suspend and their when digivolving effects can activate is absolutely diabolical. It completely shuts down any ace timing they can do against you, as they can evolve, for sure, get that draw 1, but that when digivolving is not activating. Oh, and of course having Ice Clad is always really funny, because if they do try to counter time out of it and maybe get an additional source, you'll probably have more, and then just swing over it and bada bing, bada boom, gain some memory back. The Inheritable is identical to EX8 Christopher Paledramon, that's legal government name. All its friends can call it Chris Paledramon, but apparently we aren't friends because I wasn't invited to the birthday party. But man, I really wish you could swing and unsuspend with this deck. And again, what's with the on play? All that aside, this card is definitely soft. And now it's time for our new boss monster, Skadimon. Okay, quick side tangent. Fellow youth, Chaos Degrade, keeps calling this thing Skadimon, and it's just been stuck in my head now, so whenever I say this, all I can think of is why so skibbity. Anyways, Skadimon digivolves from a blue or yellow level 5 for the cost of 4, or a level 5 Ice Snow trait for the cost of 3. It's got both Ice Clad and Barrier. With the when digivolving effect, you may play a level 4 or lower Digimon with the Ice Snow trait from your hand without paying the cost. For each of your opponent's Digimon with no sources, you can add 1 level to this effect's maximum. With the when digivolving, when attacking effect of once per turn, you may place 1 Digimon with no Digivolution cards to the bottom security to unsuspend this Digimon. If you thought the Ice Snow deck needed more defensive power, well, here you go. The when digivolving effect is great. I do like that by default you're able to play out something, and that's a level 4 or lower, regardless if your opponent has sources. If you have been source stripping your opponent, you can play even higher level bodies out for free. Oh, that's why Polybirmon and Frigimon have on-play effects. It doesn't really help with the Hexeblaumon lines, as all those effects are when digivolving effects, so no on-play for those ones, except the Bluegomon. But BT18 Korokokmon does benefit from this.
Hell yeah, brother.
And also Ancient Megatheriumon. But let's be real, I don't think anyone's really running that card. The when attacking when digivolving effect can be used as a chaos degradation to your opponent's Digimon that are sourceless, or you can also use it to recover your own body that you just played out to pseudo recover +1. So here's the combo. Digivolve into Skadimon, play out Frigimon, Frigimon then source strips, gains you memory, you then swing with Skadimon, add back Frigimon to your security to unsuspend. Thanks to both these level 5s, giving sec +1, Skadimon is able to go for 4 checks in 1 turn, and if you're running the Penguinmon and the Frigimon in your line, you also give sec -2 to your opponent's board per swing. And for those times where you swing into security and it's a bigger body, you have Barrier, so just drop your top security and you'll live. It also helps out if you're swinging into bigger bodies, but oh wait, you also have Ice Clad. As long as you have more sources, you're just able to bulldoze over them. I do think this card combo is really well with Hexeblaumon for a full board lockdown, and with that, I'm going to have to say this card is sauce. Our last card support is the 3-cost Tamer, Suzune Kazuki, which has the effects: start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. When your Digimon with the Ice Snow trait will be played or digivolved into, you may suspend this Tamer to drop 1 Digivolution card from your opponent's Digimon. Security effect, play this card without paying the cost. The memory gain is nice, but why is that effect an all turns effect? Currently Ice Snow has no aces or way to split out bodies on your opponent's turn, unless you're running Ryugumon using its end of turn effect to spit out Polybirmon, or you can load EX7 Summon Frost into security so you can play out level 4 for free. Of course, hahaha. Realistically, I think Bandai is deciding to future-proof this card for when Ice Snow gets their inevitable ace. I do think this card is okay. Again, if it gets that ace or any other effects that play things on your opponent's turn, but for now, currently, there aren't any ways to get any effects with the all turns, and there's no even free Tamer play for this deck, so you're not getting the full benefit of playing as Suzune over, say, the Joe and Sora double Tamer. But wait, what's that on Suzune's finger?
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Well, she's also married, so it's a loss all around. With this, the Ice Snow gang has gotten its 3rd wave of support. It's got the EX7 Hexeblaumon stuff, the BT18 Kuamon hybrids, which are treated as Ice Snow, and now Skadimon in its line. Has Ice Snow finally redeemed itself? Is it now the chillest deck around? Honestly, I think this deck is pretty cool, but it's not the coolest blue deck there is. In order to get the full benefit of the source strip deck, you need to make sure your opponent has no sources under their stack. Here's the only problem though. There are cards like X Antibody and other things that can put sources underneath, making it so it's impossible to fully source strip your opponent. But that's okay because you always have Ice Clad to fall back on and just swing over their bodies anyway. So it's fairly balanced that way. But you know what's not fairly balanced? Hexeblaumon. This card's able to get it with the effect of just being, as long as you have more sources than your opponent, it just full stuns their board. And I think that's what puts source strip on the edge of being a fair deck or being completely overpowered and busted. Because if there were other cards in this deck that had the effect similar to Hexeblaumon, this would be a tier 1 deck every day of the week. Of course, that's not a sneeze on something like Skadimon, which I think is a pretty fair and balanced card, allowing you to play on level 4 just by default, and if you manage to do the game plan of source stripping your opponent's Digimon, you're able to play high levels up for free. And if you're sourceless, that just makes it even better as you can return your own Digimon to unsuspend your Skadimon. It seems to be the trend that Liberator decks are either okay or good at their best, and this is not being the allegations. While I personally think this deck is great, I'm not going to be blind and say that it's the best in the entire meta, because there are definitely some decks that are better than this. I'll leave you with just one other combo of Digivolving into Skadimon, playing on level 4, your opponent swings, is Zudamon Ace them. So yeah, just run Zudamon Ace, that'll really help, especially with the early game. It's a shame because the idea behind the support is rather cool, as if you can't source strip and stun them, you just swing and use those inheritables to get them sack -1 and prevent them from attacking that way instead. But if it's going to have any claim to fame in the meta, I think there'll be people using Polybirmon and maybe even the Frigimon, the Venusmon top end.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm a liar. If that was the case, the stuff from Shakamon would be doing crazy with the Gokumon and Sanzomon, but those didn't make a splash either, so really, we're okay. Venusmon is not coming back from the depths of hell, so we can breathe a sigh of relief there. I will have to give this support 3.5 big gulps, but the ice is melted, so it's now just kind of watered down, out of 5. This deck is stunning, but no one's getting brain freeze from it. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Sauce or Loss. We're about halfway through our coverage of EX8, and we have tons more videos coming out in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. I've been Pro Ninja, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.